I have more classes with you than I do Tucker Stanley. I only have one with him.
Have
Which
two
lunch line
classes
was
with
there?
you.
And they're both really
You're
good.
on classes and show.
I don't have any classes with her this year.
Yeah, I was gonna make fun of it.
You say Shelby?
Shelby.
Shelby who?
Packer.
Oh, I don't know who that is. I remember when she dated Tucker.
Huh? Zach, what?
Huh?
What?
What?
What? Alright. Does it go to -4 on the outside?
No,
Hmm.
but we'll go on the outside.
8, -8.
No, what are you doing? Okay, so let's answer the question he's asking. What are we gonna put on the outside if we're dividing by x minus 4?
4, positive.
4, very good. If it's in a x plus or minus situation, you set that equal to 0 and solve. So we would have to add 4, so that would mean a positive 4 would go outside. Okay, now what do we do to start it? Good, drop the 2 down. Now if we're on the outside, we multiply, we put that answer on the inside and add. So 2 times 4 is 8. Go to the next number, put it on the inside and add. What do we get when we add there? 5, very good. So it gives us a 5 times 4. Put that underneath the next one on the inside.
Oh,
And then we add. So then 2 times 4. Okay, so what does that mean about x minus 4 to this polynomial?
that means that it is
Okay,
negative.
we got no remainder, which means that goes into it evenly, so that is a factor of it. And also it gives you one of the solutions. One of the solutions to that equation will be 4. So we looked at that at the very end on Tuesday. That's what we're gonna do the whole time today, is use this to find all the solutions.
Oh, we're not gonna use long division.
No, we're gonna not use long division.
It takes 2.
Alright, let me erase that. Glad my board thing is working better today.
Yeah,
I
restart
probably
on.
spent a
I let
solid 2 hours on the homework yesterday.
Really?
Yeah,
It didn't take that
I'm
long to
getting
do it.
sidetracked. I would
Well,
just,
I know.
Yeah, I did it and then took a nap and then tried to finish it.
I did it, then went to my grandma's for lunch.
I did it in
one time I caught myself staring at the wall for 5 minutes.
Well, that's what you do in here, so.
not much of a difference, Christian.
Yeah, because they're tiny.
Okay, so what we have here that says f of x equals x cubed plus 2x squared minus 11x plus 12. And we're told to find all the zeros, which remember finding zeros means solutions, roots, it just means solve, find all the zeros. But what's different between this and what we looked at on Tuesday is I'm not giving you a factor to start with. So we have no clue. Like on the problem we just did on the bell ringer, I gave you x minus 4. So we had somewhere to start. We got no idea, okay? So what we do in this situation, it's not always fun because it's trial and error. And so if you are a bad guesser, you could spend days on problems like these. But our rule for getting a place to start is you're gonna take the factors of your constants and put those over the factors of your leading coefficient. Okay? Factors of your constant over the factors of your leading coefficient. And that will give us the possible zeros. And then that'll like put some numbers in a bucket for you to draw out of. So you're not just drawing out of the universe of numbers, because those are infinite. But at least this gives us a bucket. So our constant, it's the one without the letter. So our constant is 12. So I'm going to list all my factors of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And those could all be positive or negative. And then on the bottom, the leading coefficient, it's an understood 1 here. So that's nice, because that means I only have whole numbers to try, because 1 over 1 is 1, 2 over 1 is 1. If you get something up here like a 5, then you would have to put a 1 and a 5 on bottom. So you would have 2/5, 3/5. So you would have some fractions.
What's leading coefficient?
Leading coefficient, you go to your degree, and it's the number in front of that variable, so it's an understood one. Okay, so that gives us a bucket of numbers to choose from, but here's the deal. This function can't have any more than its highest degree answers. So it can't have more than 3 answers. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, make them negative, also 12. We have 12 possible numbers to only get 3 that work. Okay, so that's why I'm saying it's trial and error, but at least we narrowed it down to 12. If we didn't even have that, Lord, that would be a nightmare and a half. So let's set this up for synthetic division using these coefficients up here. 1x cubed, 2x squared, negative 11x, and a constant of 12. And now let's go to our bucket of possible zeros and just pick one. Okay,
3.
okay, I'm gonna go 3 first. Now here's the deal. How will I know if 3 works or not? Just like on the bell ringer, we'll get a 0 in the remainder. Very good. So 1 times 3 is 3. I add and get 5. 5 times 3 is 15. I add and get 4. No, that's not go.
That's
4
that's
times
not the
3
negative.
is 12. I add and get 24.
So close.
So
Wait, so
3 is not good. Okay, y'all, let's keep it.
Negative.
you want negative? Yeah.
Okay,
Put negative in there.
I've got fancier stuff, I'm just gonna erase mine there. Try again. Okay, so are y'all wanting to try -3? Is that what I heard? Okay. One of them's -3 is -3. I add and get -1. -1 times -3 is 3. I add and get -8. -8 times -3 is 24. I add and get 36, not 0. So far we've tried 3 and -3, and neither one of those work.
12.
Oops, I'm gonna pick the eraser. Alright, so
Darn.
No.
still picking numbers out of the bucket.
So close.
Anybody got another guess?
Christian said 12.
12?
Actually, 1.
1, or you wanna go 1? 1 times 1 is 1, I add and get 3. 3 times 1 is 3, I add and get -8. -8 times 1 is -8, I add and get 4, so we can mark 1 off of the list.
That's the closest. All.
Okay,
4.
so we're gonna try,
2.
doesn't matter, y'all decide.
I say we do 4.
Okay, we're gonna go with Hayden's getting in on the fun.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go with 4. Make that a 4. 1 times 4 is 4. I add and get 6. 6 times 4 is 24. Add and get 13. 13 times 4 is 52. I add, that's not 0. Alright, so our bucket's getting smaller. We've marked out 4 choices.
2.
Okay, Christian wants to try 2 next. Y'all are bad number pickers like me. Sometimes I'll have a class and they guess it right on the first try. Not me. 1 times 2 is 2. I add and get 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Add and get -3. 11, 10, 9, 8, yeah. And -3 times 2 is -6. I add and don't get 0, so I've marked 2 out. Do.
Got farther.
6 now.
Okay, everybody want to try Tyler's 6?
I say we do it.
Okie dokie. Come on, lucky 6. 1 times 6 is 6. I add and get 8. Oh, this is gonna get big. 8 times 6 is 48.
Ooh.
I add and get 37. I don't know what 37 times 6 is, but it's not -12.
Okay.
Yeah.
6 is out.
It's a big
I say we do 12.
Okay,
So 12.
we'll try 12. plus 12 is 14. 14 times 12.
Oh,
What is it, Tommy?
168.
168 negative 11 is
That's not negative 12.
157, and 157 times 12 is not negative 12.
Negative, can we try negative 1?
I think all we've got left to try is some negatives, isn't it? Okay.
oh, we have negative.
Yeah, remember I put
Yeah, I
that
forgot you could do negatives.
positive, negative sign up there. Y'all tried negative 3 earlier. You just lost track of negatives. Alright,
What am I
so
trying, -1?
negative 1 is what Christian said. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. I add and get 1. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. I add and get negative 12. Negative 12 times negative 1 is 12. I add and get 24.
Oh,
So negative 1 is out.
we're mad at this.
Okay. I thought that was gonna be it.
Yeah.
Still-
Wait, you know the answer.
I was feeling good
Don't
about
you?
it. Maybe.
What about -2?
Alright, negative 2.
Let's do -2, why not?
Negative 2.
Zach, gotta get in.
Wait, I thought we already did.
Uh-uh.
No, I already did negative.
Alright, so
Y'all are
1
down
times
to
negative
like
2 is
three.
negative 2. I add and get 0. 0 times negative 2 is 0. I add and get negative 11. Negative 11 times negative 2 is 22.
Nope. Oh, I found it.
Negative 2.
Negative 4.
Okay, let me erase here.
That's the next question, congratulations.
Is that the only one we haven't tried yet?
I think so, no.
We haven't done -6
Yeah, negative 4.
or -12.
Let's hope it's a negative 4.
Christian sounded confident when he said it.
Yep.
1 times negative 4 is negative 4. I add and get negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 4 is 8.
Oh, wait.
Yes. What do I get when I add that negative 3?
Mm-hmm.
That is not right, Christian. Negative 3 times
I
negative
can't do
4 is a
math.
positive 12. I add and get 24.
Negative 6 maybe?
I'm tough now.
I'm guessing 0.
There's 2 more.
It's gotta be 0.
Come on, please be negative 6, man.
0's not in our bucket. You gotta only pick out of your bucket.
We have used all the.
I guess every answer but the right one.
Let's do negative 6.
Negative 6.
A negative 12.
Oh, I was already writing the answer, my bad. 1 times negative 6 is negative 6, I get negative 4. 6 4 is 24, that's not gonna work.
Oh, Lord, it's not that.
Okay.
Negative 12.
Well, it could be that there are no rational zeros. It
I
could
didn't
be.
know that was not.
We gotta try, we gotta try.
I knew it. I had a feeling that you.
Come
were
on,
gonna go
man. That's mean.
Okay, 1 times negative 12 is negative 12. We add and get negative 10, we multiply and get 120. We add and get 109, so negative 12 did not work. So, what that means, as far as a graph is concerned, is that it's never gonna cross the x-axis. So it could have imaginary solutions, it could have irrational solutions, but on this instance, we would say no real solutions.
That's
Now,
mean.
that was the torturous one, but just be thankful that we only had 12 numbers in the bucket, cause I could've, Christian, I see your stink eye. We could've had one that had 52 numbers in the bucket, and I could've made you go through all them. So now let's do one where we're gonna get an answer. We got the hard
So
stuff out of
sad.
the way. We got the hard stuff out of the way.
It made me sad.
Alright, so let's look at f of x is equal to x cubed minus 8x squared plus 11x plus 20. The directions say find all the zeros. And this one is, it's got some that we'll find, I
Do
promise.
we have a x minus plus?
I don't know if I can.
Okay, we gotta figure out what numbers are in our bucket.
Oh,
So we take the factors of our constant's 20. So list out all the positive and negative factors of 20. 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20, right? Now luckily my leading coefficient is 1 again, I'm gonna give you one in a minute where it's not, so fractions will be involved, but
That's not nice.
leading coefficient's 1. Okay, so let's set up our division. We got a 1x cubed, a negative 8x squared, an 11x, and a 20.
Is there a way to do it backwards so we just find the answer?
This is
Of
it.
course there is. Leave it to math.
Alright, so pick us a number out of the bucket.
4.
4. 1 times 4 is 4. Negative 8 and 4 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. 11 and negative 16 is negative 5. Uh-oh. Negative 5 times 4 is negative 20.
Y'all are-
Y'all are
20
welcome.
and negative 20 is 0.
And-
So,
Let's go.
much less painful than the last one, but you see how so much luck is involved on the trial and error. Okay, so good job picking that one. Might
You should have
designate.
made zeros an option
Or
last time.
designated
I would
picker.
probably should've-
No, because that would mean something different. That would mean 0 is
Or-
an answer.
No, I meant like the no real solution.
Oh.
You should have made that an option.
Alright, but hold on, we're not done. We've got options now on what to do. Because this could have 3 answers. We found one of them. So here's our options. We could drop another layer of synthetic division off of these 3 numbers and still pick out of our bucket.
But that's more.
Or, since we started with a cube, this is now a quadratic. And we know other ways of solving a quadratic that don't involve trial and error. So, once I get it to a quadratic, I'm gonna either factor it or do the quadratic formula, cause I'm not a good number picker and I don't wanna do trial and error again.
If we use that quadratic, would we set it equal to the 0? Or?
Yes, where'd my mouse go, and that's what I'm trying to do.
I don't think so.
Where did it go? So this is a 1x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals 0. So I could do it one of 2 ways. If it factors, I'm gonna factor it. If not, I'm gonna do the quadratic formula. Factor it, look at your A times C. 1 times negative 5 is negative 5. Are there any factors of negative 5 that add to negative 4? Negative 5 and 1, right?
Yeah.
So that would be x minus 5 times x plus 1. Set both of those equal to 0 and solve. Christian, you had one of them right. Because that would get you a 5. Didn't you say you'd have picked 5? So there are your 3 answers. We had negative 1, 4, and 5. Now, if that would not have been factorable, if I'd have done my A times C and there weren't any factors that added to the B, and I went ahead and did the quadratic formula, that would mean, just mean my answers wouldn't be as pretty. They could have square roots in them or I's in them. But because it factored, we got nice pretty answers.
I'm glad I got that one. That was nice.
That was good.
I bet you the next time we're gonna do every single one of them in the last one we're gonna do.
Yeah.
It's gonna be-
And then it's gonna be no real solutions.
No, we won't have anything else like that. I just had to get the torture out of the way.
Maybe.
But this one is a little torturous, because look at that.
That's kind of mean.
2 things, you got a power of 4, and you got a leading coefficient that's not 1.
At least it's 10.
I would rather it be 3. 10's got more factors, so you have to put all the factors on bottom.
Is that a 42x?
Yes, squared. Okay, so the directions here say to find all the zeros. 10x to the 4th minus 11x cubed minus 42x squared plus 7x plus 12. Alright, so factors of our we gotta get the numbers in our bucket, so the factors of our constant, 12, could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12, over the factors of our leading coefficient. So 10, 1, 2, 5, and 10. Now,
So it can be 1, 2.
so what that means, I need to do this on the board so the video can get it. What that means is I can have positive, negative, 1 over 1, 1 over 2, 1 over 5, 1 over 10.
We're gonna be here all day.
Okay, and then the same with the 2. positive, negative, 2 over 1, 2 over 2, 2 over 5, 2 over 10.
So we have 24 things.
Well, no. Okay, here's my 2 over 1 is 2. 2 over 2, already have it. So I'm not gonna write it again, because 2 over 2 is the same as 1, right? 2 over 5, I gotta write. 2 over 10, I don't have to write. Because isn't 2 over 10 1/5? Okay, so I already got it. Okay, let's go to our 3 now. 3 over 1, 3 over 2, 3 over 5, and 3 over 10. Okay, now to my 4. 4 over 1, 4 over 2 I've already got. 4 over 3, 4 over 5.
Wait, why are we doing 4 over 3?
I don't know, that's a good question. Thank you. I don't wanna put more numbers in the bucket, do I? 4 over 5, and then 4 over 10 we've already got, because it's 2/5. Okay, so now we're to our 6. 6 over 1, 6 over 2 we've already got. 6 over 5 I don't have yet. 6 over 10, I've got that, 3/5 somewhere, yep. Okay, now to the 12. 12 over 1, 12 over 2 I've already got. 12 over 5, 12 over 10. Do I have a 6/5 anywhere? Yes, so I've already got that. Okay, now all of those numbers in that bucket can be either positive or negative, so we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 32 numbers in our bucket. Let me set up
With a good even 2.
hold on, let me set up my synthetic division, and then I wanna,
You got a trick for this one?
no? I don't have any tricks, but, okay.
Can we do lots of
Alright,
different-
so,
I would be shorter than this.
2.
what I would recommend right now is I would go ahead, and Tyler's got his out, but if you wanna get it on your Chromebook real quick, I would go ahead and graph that. Cause remember, the zeros are where it crosses the
Or we
x-axis.
can just like get an estimate.
So maybe we can get an estimate about a number to pick.
We've got time.
Let's see if I can pull mine up too. Which one is that? See my mouse things. It's not picking it up.
Graph. Where are you
Give it
gonna
a-
be? Click it on your.
Computer over here.
Okay.
Oh, there it goes. I've clicked it about 12 times maybe.
That scared me.
Okay, so move your cursor around and try to get close to one, see if you can get an estimate of what it is.
That's 1.5.
Right on 5.
1.5, yeah.
So
1.5.
was
3 over
3
2.
halves in our thing?
3 over 2, I think was 1.
Was it our 3 halves? So let's go ahead and try 3 halves. You got that off of the. So, and I'm gonna. Alright,
So many numbers.
30.
Wait, was that negative 3 halves? Yeah, negative 3 halves.
okay, that makes a big difference. So negative 15. And then negative 26. So what's 3 halves times 26? You got a calculator, come on.
39.
Is that right?
Is it negative 26?
Negative times negative is positive, I'm not worried about that.
39.
Okay,
Oh,
Yep.
good job. 17 times negative 3 halves.
Oh, I don't know that one. 70's not a half number.
Nope.
Actually, no.
17 17 times 3 halves?
Yeah.
51 over 2, or
Come on, work.
25.
Holy Toledo. What,
Is it negative 17 or normal 17?
Great, positive.
technology.
You love to see it.
Okay, the whole computer's now frozen.
Yeah.
Does that mean we don't do anything
We've
today?
mapped the computer out.
It's like y'all are ready
No, I
to
got
stop
like
for the
3
day.
teeth.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah,
we've been tortured enough today.
I think y'all did y'all's work yesterday.
You did it so well.
Since we were good
Where
class.
is the,
Yeah.
Alright, 32.5, oh, that's even worse.
Us,
That would be
probably, or what you was,
48.75.
because when mine's definitely gone up, so. One of us.
And that will be 60.
So it's what, 32.5 times 3 and a half?
It is not.
I mean.
yeah, negative 3 halves is not gonna work.
Yeah, no.
But I'm glad y'all finished that one for me. So negative 3 halves was not 0. So, looking at the graph on the calculator, do you have another guess to try?
Let's go with.
Not
Did somebody say negative 1
That's-
half?
0.6.
That's close to a half negative.
No, just positive.
I wanna try negative.
She's trying to help us.
I'm trying, but y'all aren't letting me. So
Yeah, there's also a negative half on there.
10 times negative half is negative 5. Negative 11 and negative 5 is negative 16. Negative half times negative 16 is 8. Negative 42 and 8 is negative 34. Am I right on that?
What is it?
trying to
Negative
catch up.
42 and 8?
Times 8?
No?
Oh,
Oh.
it's negative 34.
Okay, negative 34 times negative half is 17. 17 and 7 is 24. 24 and negative half is negative 12.
Good, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
so, but wait, here's some bad news for you.
Now we gotta do it into.
This
four.
started off as a 4th power, so we're only down to the 3rd power now, so we can't solve it like a quadratic. Now we gotta do,
Can we solve it like a cubatic?
that's, a cubatic is to keep going. So we can do a couple of things. We could drop another level here and keep doing trial and error, okay? If you wanted to try to factor it, you would have to do the factoring by grouping, take up GCFs and all that type of thing. So,
Let's just keep on trucking.
okay,
Would I have to put in a new thing into the y equals
no,
since it's
Whoa.
so, what you said, there was a, what did you tell me for another guess a minute ago? You were thinking positive half?
positive half?
What about,
There's also
Y'all wanna try that -1.5 again?
no, if it didn't work the first time, it
2.6.
won't work this time.
Oh,
2.6.
So I'm gonna tell you that a half is 0.5 and that's close to 0.6, which is 3/5. So I'm gonna try 3/5. Drop my 10 times 3/5 is 30/5, which is 6. Negative 16 and 6 is negative 10. Negative 10 times 3/5 is negative 6. Negative 40. Negative 40
24.
times 3/5
Would that be negative 24?
be 120 over 5. So is that right? Did you check it? It should be negative 24, but check it, make sure. I was trying to give you one that worked.
Yeah, negative 24 because like 8 is 1/5 and then you got 3 of those, that's 24.
Alright, so we've got 2. Now we started off as a 4th, so this level got us a 3rd, so now we're 2 quadratic. So now I'm done with guess and check and those ugly fractions. So I'm gonna write 10x squared minus 10x minus 40 is equal to 0, and I'm even gonna go a step farther. Can't I reduce that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just
Divide
take
by
a
5.
10, a 5 would be
Yeah.
good, but a 10 would be better. Just divide it all by 10, so that's the same as x squared minus x minus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, so if I did 8 times c, that gets me negative 4. There aren't any factors of negative 4 that add a negative 1. So even though it looks pretty simple, like I can factor it, I really can't. So I'm gonna do the quadratic formula. I got an a of 1, a b of negative 1, and a c of negative 4. We good? X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So that's 17 underneath the radical, right? Because you got negative, something is a positive, so 1 plus 16. 17 does not break down. So that's as far as that goes. So there are 2 answers here. 1 plus the square root of 17 divided by 2, 1 minus the square root of 17 divided by 2. Put that with the other answers we got from our trial and error, negative half and 3/5. And there are the answers to that. Now see, that is what we ran into on that first problem that I tortured you on. These irrational numbers are never in your bucket. So we would have never gotten to that. You're only gonna have rational numbers in your bucket. So that was mean of me to do that to you, but I just do that to the class I like.
So that's it for today.
I don't know, I'm just saying.
Turning pages.
Well, I go through and pick out,
Those
so.
pages scare me.
Now, look, I'm gonna let Holly verify. See, this is what I do. Go through and pick out the ones I wanna do. So just so they don't think that this is real. Don't have anything, don't have any, so that really was the last one. But I didn't want you to think you were talking me into it. That's why I had to verify with Holly. Alright, so tomorrow's stuff is just still some more of this. Okay, this takes some practice. I don't wanna do a gazillion of them, because we need to save some of your lucky number picking. Don't wanna waste it all today.
And it's game day.
Tomorrow's game day, not today.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Today's a game day.
For those little tots.
Virginia high.
A lot of those little